Hi everyone, welcome. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit time to come on in. Make sure that my speakers are good. Perfect. Hello. Come on in. Let's share this. Okay, we're good. All right, we're all good here. Hello everybody. My name is Nene Kapler. Most people know me as Nene Kapler, but I am known on social media mostly as Lene Marie Summers, and I would like to welcome you to my Mirror's Testimony. It's been a while since I've been on. I've been doing a few things. So it's been a minute since I've seen everyone, so welcome. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our Facebook group and share this post. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm not used to having on mascara and I'm having some issues. I am so excited. Today is going to be a little bit different than our, excuse me. My mom had me put mascara and now it is in my eye. Wet row. Whew, okay. It's gonna be a little bit different. I have an amazing guest coming on. Her name is Khadijah Doris. I call her D, and I think that's how she would prefer to be known. Let's get her in here. I need to invite you, D. So, oh, this is so bad. I'll be right back. Right back. Okay, I need to invite D in. There is, if you do it on your phone, D, there's an add button at the bottom. I'm gonna invite you again. Hi, Sister Nola, welcome. Just bear with me. I don't think she's in here yet. The joys of doing things live. D, if you're in here, just comment and I can invite you in. I'm great. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. I hope that you and your family are well. You can tell I don't wear makeup. D, let me know in the comments if you're here. I'm not sure what's happening, guys. Thank you. Hey, Chanel. I want to get us moving. I'm just waiting for my lovely guest to join on in. Today we're talking about purpose, and I think this is going to be a great discussion. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to invite you and add you onto purpose. It is a blog that she started back in, I believe, April of 2019. I've enjoyed there you are, girl. Do you have headphones? Okay. I started reading her posts. I'm gonna wait and switch your headphones so feedback can go. Okay. I think. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Feedback is going. We're on live. I'm so excited. I started reading these posts back in maybe July is when I knew that she started her blog because I just met her in March. I met her during the pandemic. You can meet friends during pandemics. Just want the world to know. We are in a women's group called Saving Unbothered. that is sponsored by the Go and the Go Church, which will be based in Calumet City. Pastor Matt Woo Woo and our group is led by, I'll call her Lady Hayes, but Hazel. And this is where I met this treasure, and I'm just gonna let her talk about her blog, and then we're gonna talk about purpose today. So, D is on you, girl.
Hey everybody, I hope that you are having an amazing day. A little bit about myself is I have a degree in communications. I recently well, not recently, I started a blog in, let's say last April-ish. However, I wasn't as consistent let's just say I doubted myself because I felt like, who wants to read? Like, really? But during this pandemic, I found a lot of time, a lot of downtime where I write every week to give the audience something different to read. So it's called Persevering on Purpose because we are getting through tough times. We are getting through obstacles on purpose. And
Yes.
that's a little bit about myself.
So I wanted you to be, not just because your blog has the word purpose in it, but I wanted you to be on this live because I think we have a lot of the same ideas. Like I read your about on your blog, and you talk about how you created your blog because you wanted people to see that they're not alone when they go through certain obstacles, and then they can overcome those obstacles. And that's the reason that My Mirror's Testimony was created, is because I wanted people to be as transparent as possible so that we can see ourselves in each other, because I, for a really long time, tried to make myself invisible. And when I was trying to make myself invisible, I wasn't living on purpose. I wasn't living in purpose. I was just surviving. And I think there's something that happens when you decide to persevere, you decide to push through the obstacles of life. Um, and so, if you have a testimony that made you create my persevering through purpose, is there something that God worked on you specifically that you're comfortable with sharing, or that you think people can relate to?
A little bit about my testimony is it's kind of similar to yours, Nini. Um, Not necessarily making myself invisible. However, I wasn't comfortable with who God made me to be. I wasn't like, us women or any, men sometimes too go through rejection and low self-esteem
Yes.
and self-doubt, and it was because I didn't always believe in who he made me. So I, doubted myself and pursuing my purpose. So, I kind of just like mustered up this confidence. Okay, God, because this is who you made. And it kind of made me have a wake up call in the sense to, okay, if I got through this, I get through this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not everything we go through is not gonna always end bad. Like God
Yeah.
turns beautiful things, turns ugly things into beautiful things, and that was really one of my reasons why I decided to write. I love writing. I got a degree in communications, so um, I just felt like I want other young people or young women or young millennials at that to realize that they are not alone. We've all been through stuff similar, if not the same stuff in life, and I just want them to know that you are only alone if you are choosing to be alone.
Hmm. Okay, in the words of Chanel, I feel the ghost creeping in. Okay, I'm gonna unbox that. You are only alone
If you
when
choose
repeat
to
the
be.
if you choose to be. So isolation was my thing. When I was like depressed, when I was anxious, I isolated myself. I hid in my own skin. Like I hid in my own body. Cause I tried to make myself visible enough that people would leave me alone. And I would be like, oh, people don't like me. People don't want me around. People won't care about how I'm feeling. People don't care about what I produce. No one will want to hear what I have to say. But no one ever told me that. And I learned that a lot of things that were keeping me from pushing myself into pursuing dreams and aspirations is because I didn't believe that God ordained me, that He made me for a purpose, that I had something to do. And so, if I don't believe that even God will want me, why would I assume that people will want me? And I think the main thing that people forget about purpose is that it's not even about you. Like what you were made for, it has nothing to do with making yourself like you. Like you were made to help somebody else. Like you were made to lend a hand to someone else, to experience life with other people, you know? And so, like, when you make a decision to live on purpose and to get out of your box and to stop assuming and start asking and inquiring and making decisions and steps, look what you come up with. You come up with a blog. You come up with a Facebook Live series. You come up with a degree. And when you find out your purpose isn't a career, in the work, I learned that this year by my mentor, Coach Michelle. When you realize your purpose isn't just one specific task that you do, but literally your being, like what you enjoy, what brings you joy, what brings other people's joy, and not just the things that come easy, but the things that God can push you through. And so that's what I've been. I just got all that from you, but that's what I'm learning to like push myself into. So I think that's
I
really
have
dope.
a comment. So a lot of people don't know right now. I work in oncology, and oncology is people, cancer patients. You go through chemo, you go through the entire process. And it's just so funny how you said you learn to live on purpose and you learn that your purpose is not your own. So, with me being on the job every day, encountering different patients, I always ask them how they're doing, how they're feeling. And, based off their answer, I always kind of tweak the conversation to see the next answer. And you really be thinking you going through it, but you see other
Hmm,
people and you find out that they going through it worse than you, and you be thinking like, okay, because my stuff ain't really that bad. Like, if they could get through this, I could get through
girl.
that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we have to live boldly in who God created us to be, and that's one thing I've been focusing on myself individually. I'm learning to speak out more, although I do have
Yeah.
a degree in communications. Your girl be like, no. And I'm like, I was just sitting there over here, praying before your live came on. I'm like, Lord, what am I gonna say? Like, okay. And I just literally heard him like just say like let it flow, because
Yeah.
your words have purpose, your words have power. You have authority, you have power.
Come
God
on.
created you on purpose. Like, you really have everything you need. So when you sit there and doubt yourself, that's the enemy, trying to get in your head, making you think you're not good enough, but you're more than ready. Believe it
Mm.
or not, you're more than ready. And I'm done preaching because this is not my live child, okay?
But no, you just took me somewhere. So most people probably won't know, but you do affirmations every morning, self
Hmm.
affirmations that you started posting. I think that's recent too. You get me every 9 a.m. Every 9 a.m. Just like what she say today. Like how what do I need to tell me? Like what is the spirit saying through me this morning? And you said something the other day about like no longer letting fear control you or not being afraid of fear. I realized like we always we stop ourselves a lot of the time when we let fear come in. There's a reason the Bible tells us that you don't have the spirit of fear, but of like fear literally chokes faith. It chokes, in my opinion, it chokes the voice of the Holy Spirit. It chokes your own inner confidence because you get so caught up in what are other people going to think or how is it going to affect me. Like fear is so selfish. Like I didn't realize how selfish I was. Like because fear is like, what about me? How am I going to feel? But it's still about me. Like, or am I going to get hurt? Or it's normally an I statement. Um, and so I love that what you said that you did. You prayed, you let God speak to you, and you felt comfortable in His words to you, and not even your own confidence in yourself, knowing that you have the Holy Spirit in you, you have God in you, and your words, because every good thing comes from Him, now has power, now has authority. That whoever sees this, you were meant for them, not even for the numbers or followers and things like that. So I just think that that was a very good. Go
And
ahead and
and
use
that's
those.
that's good because I don't know why, but our millennial, like people in our generation, should be so thirsty for likes and shares and comments. Like I literally be doing my own thing. Like I'm like, Lord, if they want it, they'll catch it. If not,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post something tomorrow. Like I literally do not care about likes, comments, shares because when you look for that type of stuff, it's like you're looking for validation
Hmm.
from men, from other people. When in reality, we already have validation from the most important person, and that's Jesus, that's God. Like, and I don't think a lot of us realize that they just be so thirsty for the accolade and for the fame, but in reality, we're here to help. We're here to lead. Like every second we have a chance to lead somebody
Yes.
into their destination. Like we have a chance to lead them into their purpose. We have a chance for them to help them take that leap of faith. Like our purpose is not our own. It's really not for us. It's
Come
for
on.
someone else's. And you said that earlier, but girl,
We can. That's just confirmation. We can agree. You can also disagree at some point. Um, but it's I'm still discovering what my purpose is, I believe. And I think that purpose isn't like this aha moment that you get once and you're done discovering what you were born to do. I think that purpose is a lifelong uh, revelation. There's the word I was looking for. Like, it's not just like what I am purposed to do in 2020, October 8th. It's probably not what I'm purposed to do 5 years from now or what I was purposed to do 5 years ago. Like, my main purpose is to love God, to be an example of Jesus on this earth, and to let his love shine through me. But when I wake up every day, I have to decide, I have to make a decision that my living, in the words of the Clark sisters, is not in vain. Like, that what I'm doing today is not just that I'm just waking up to wake up. I'm not just going to work to go to work. I'm just not here another day just because that's what it is. I'm here because God said, by the way, if you hear noise in the background, that's my niece or my nephew or my mom. It's somebody. And that my living isn't in vain, that it's a reason that God put breath in my body today. And so, like, that means I have to have a little bit more control over my attitude if somebody get on my nerve. That means I have to have a little bit more work ethic and discipline to get through my work day. Come here, Smurf. You already out here. Delani, would you like to say hello since you're out here too? Say hello to Facebook. Hi, Facebook. Say hi, D.
hi.
Hi, D. They can't
Hi. She's
say
cute.
nice to meet you. Yes, to you.
Nice to meet
Okay.
you too.
Can you go back with Nana now so I can finish? I gotta go potty. Okay, go handle your business. And this is Darren, so that
Hi,
everyone can
Darren.
know who's keeping up the noise. All right. Hey, go potty. Bye bye. You gotta go potty. Bye bye. And that's live, guys. One day I'm gonna learn to probably pre-record this, but it's okay.
Yeah, we do
I
need
gotta
to be
love that.
pre-recorded because
Oh, I'm not for this. I thought I was for this. I used to be able to play at 8 o'clock for an hour. Go away, but no. Um, I'm learning that my living does not have to be in vain, and even in those moments, like me smiling at my niece and nephew instead of slapping them up, talking about why are you so loud. They're like, I'm now affecting their life. Like every decision, everything that I do affects someone else. So that's just anyway. How do you define purpose? Like, what's your definition for purpose?
I define purpose as a process.
Okay.
I define purpose as a process because anything that we go through in life, physically, emotionally, spiritually, is not going to be just cake and icing. Like you're gonna have to go through some blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna have to go through the mud. You're gonna have to swim a little bit until you get back
Hmm.
to the top. Like it's a process. Like purpose is gonna cause pain. Like
Hmm.
it's like whatever you're laboring, and I'm just going to use the example I used on my post. When mothers are expecting, they go through 9 months of pregnancy, and then once that 9 month is up, they start having labor pains because guess what? They about to birth out that baby. It's the
Mm,
same way emotionally, spiritually, physically. We're gonna go through some pain, and as soon as we have that pain, we automatically know like, okay, this is about to come. God is about to bless
mm,
me with this. Okay, it's time to push this baby out. Like it's literally like the intention of something happening.
mm.
So purpose equals purpose. It's supposed to happen.
It's on purpose. Like this isn't by
Like
chance. This isn't just out of the blue.
man,
This is
I mean, so I don't know. Maybe I look at it as differently,
no.
but I think that as we go through each day, like you said, you try to figure out, try to differentiate why are you waking up, what's your purpose today, and I just really feel like our purpose is to impact one another, whether we
Mm,
know it or not. The simplest things, oh, hey, how are you? I love you. Like that could go a long way, and people will still remember from that same day. Yeah, I
mm,
remember when Dee told me she loved me. She
mm.
don't even know what I was going through on that day. Like it's literally a process. Like you have to go through the process, which equals the pain, to get to the purpose.
You have to get through pain to get to the purpose. Hold up.
Go through the
So that
pain.
means I have to go through some pressure. I have to go through some being uncomfortable. I have to learn some lessons. I have to live through the lesson, then learn from it. And then I have to produce from it. Like, and then I produce my purpose. Like, when I go through all of that, it's when purpose is produced. It's not just, can you please stop? Okay, bye bye. Please go bye bye. Please go bye bye. I cannot believe this right now. You have to go through some things, and that's what's going to produce your purpose. So I wrote down the other day, what changes when you stop living by chance, but you live with purpose? Like, what what is something that you saw change in your life when it wasn't just okay another day, but it was that I'm going to do something. I'm going to live today, knowing that it's going to affect someone else, or it's going to affect even the outcome of my life.
Something that I noticed is that I find myself now, and it took me a while to get through this. Like okay, so in school, like I didn't necessarily have a lot of money, and most people didn't even know. I could literally have 20 cents, um, 20 cents in my account, and I used to be so down, like, man, God, I don't have no money. How I'm gonna get gas? Like, I was literally depressed. Like, I was depressed from I was allowing the enemy to feed my mind. That's why I was depressed. My life wasn't even that bad, but because I was letting him, feed me all this negative energy, I was like, oh my God, I was thinking the worst. But now it's like, okay, this happened, this occurred.
Hmm.
Okay, God, you got it, like literally. And I find myself by being more positive, at with different experiences that I go through, it's always a good ending. You know what I'm saying, from what I experienced. It's not, and I use this saying, I just, God gave it to me one day and I had Snapchatted it, and I was like, not every bad thing is a bad thing.
Hmm.
Like you said, we got to learn lessons. You may think it's a bad thing, but it's to teach us a lesson. It's to humble us. It's to give us.
Yes.
It's to help us to become wise stewards of what we have, or of what we're expecting for God to do. And I always say this, and I say this to my grandpa: you take care of what you got now, He'll bless you with
Yes.
what you want. But you did mishandle what you got now, it ain't gonna be no bigger blessings, because when he sees that you can't handle what has given you now properly, that process is gonna take so much longer. You have to be a good steward of what you have, because and I just and this just ties in with like being faithful to God, like
Hmm.
paying your tithes faithfully. Baby, listen, it was one time I had $20, and I was like, I'm gonna pay my tithes. Child, he let that little $20 stretch for 3 weeks.
Come on. But that's some obedience and that's some discipline in there.
Discipline,
That's
like
what that sounds like.
you literally have to have discipline. Like you cannot be like, okay, I got $2. Let me buy this so and so for $1 from the dollar store because it's $1, and now you
Mm,
looking crazy with $1 till 2 weeks later, next pay period, you looking crazy. No, you have to have discipline. You have to hold yourself accountable. Like you can't
come
always
on.
expect others and people to be there for you to hold you accountable. Like you literally have to hold yourself accountable because without accountability, like you gonna be you gonna be SOL. Like you
You
literally
out here, just out here,
just
just
reckless.
no covering, no standard, just out here, just ooh, ooh.
Man, it's like you talking about you was stressed before. Listen,
Girl, you up here
go,
sounding like you a member of the Go, talking about when you can't be obedient, God ain't gonna
girl,
bless you. When you
girl,
don't follow His past instructions, He's not gonna give you new instructions. When
girl.
you say no to the one thing, He's not gonna give you the big picture because you can't even say yes to the emoji. Like,
Listen, FYI, I am a part of the
yeah,
Go.
yeah. She's like, you better. You was there
You
on
better shout
Tuesday.
our church
You
out,
was
okay?
there. You was
Listen,
there on Tuesday.
listen.
But
No,
it's
but
Bible.
it literally is, and a lot of people, um, it's so funny. I was on Twitter and they were. This was when I think in the beginning of the pandemic when they were talking about all that conspiracy ancestorish stuff. I'm like, nah, my ancestors can't bless me like God can bless me, but y'all can go ahead and believe in what y'all want because I know who I believe in. That's all that
Yeah.
matters. And um, it was something to the fact like something believing in your ancestors. I'll have to go back and find it. And when I find it, I'll send it to you. But like this is why our purpose, like we must identify our purpose to DT because like during this pandemic, like it's so many minds out here that's
Hmm.
screwed up. How many like manipulation, like people are just corrupt and they don't even realize it. And the only way we're gonna get out this pandemic is through God.
Come on. You know, I just came up with another P that comes along with purpose, and
What
that's
is
prayer. Because you just woke up something in me, like because you know everyone like I'm gonna pray to the universe. No, I'm gonna pray to the person who created the universe. How about that? Like let's and like I'm gonna pray to the person the God that I have an encounter with, that is not just that something that's tangible. I think we as especially our generation, we like tangible. We like proof. We need. We always say we're so abstract, but we're very realistic. Like if we can't see, touch, smell, hear it, it's not real. And I think that that's so why it's so important for us to have encounters with God. And that happens through prayer. That happens through worship. That's the only way God can really show up in your life. And through the pandemic, and I went through like my own little mental crisis before the pandemic even hit. But when I look back, that was the mercy of God to prepare me to even get through this. That I had to call on God. I had to acknowledge God. I had to be like, I can't do this in my strength. I don't want to do this in my strength because I'm steady on my face. I'm on my butt. I'm scratched up, dust up, hurt, just every other adjective that I would have said before Jesus. And I was hurting, right? But it was through prayer, it was through worship, it was through resting in the arms and the safety of God and the redemption of Jesus Christ that I'm even able to produce a purpose. Because through that, at that point, I now understand it isn't through me. It isn't through my own thoughts. It isn't through my own strength. It's through the glory and the will and the power of God, right? Like it isn't just it's not just something Lanita created. Like my mirror's testimony came through me sitting in my room praying, like, and just letting God minister to me, not being afraid to get instruction from Him and giving Him credit for it. You know, like a lot of times we be like, I created this. This is my idea. I'm the founder of, like I'm the creator of I. It's like Him. He did this. He created this in me. But I had to humble myself. I had to be prepared for the pain of being disappointed, I had to prepare myself I had to take time to write notes and to even allow the space to create. Like I had to bring discipline into my life that at 8 o'clock, I need to know that I need to be on here on time because I put my words on it. I need to study. I can't just be out here mumbling and grumbling. Like I need to reach out to people. But when we make those efforts, when we make those decisions, what we create, what God birthed inside of you, is purposely beautiful. It's a creation of God, and it's not something that you get to associate yourself with because He's in you. Like, good job, bud. So, like, I think, especially for our age group, how do you, what are your like go to humble yourself to God? Like, and I know that sounds like, oh, you just say yes. Like, just saying yes isn't always the only step you need to take. What was your process of just giving God your full, I give you head of my life, I give you my dreams, I give myself back to you.
My go-to would be what I still do. I study a lot. After work,
Mm-hmm.
work long hours, and I'm like, okay, I need to read. I need to read my word. I ain't read yesterday. I need to read. And I'm really I'm a prophet.
Come on.
So God be talking, okay? I just made a necessarily say it. But I'm a worshiper also, and a lot of times I find myself worshiping God, and then I start to ponder on all the things that I thought I would never made it through in life. How I was just this lost soul wandering around, looking crazy, looking for love in all the wrong places, connecting myself with all the wrong people, and it was just at that one day I just had gained that hunger for God. Like, okay, this ain't enough. I done been through this for 20 some years out of routine. It's time for something different. Okay, I gotta go a different route. I gotta start reading. I gotta start studying. And that's really my go-to. Like literally, as I'm reading, he gives me so much revelation, and sometimes I just be like, "Really, God? Like really?" But he's just such. He has a funny sense of humor at some
Yes,
points,
he does.
and um, I mean, he would give you what you ask him for, clear as day. You ask him for the answer to something, he would immediately tell you, as long as you're paying attention, as long as you're focused. Because if you're
Like,
not
what's my
focused, if
hand?
you're distracted, you
Yes,
gonna miss it. You gonna miss the wave. You ain't gonna you gonna miss the wave. Like you literally have to be focused. Like if you ask God for something, you ask Him to reveal something to you. You literally have to watch the signs,
yes, you do.
and it's
Yes,
up to
you do.
you whether or not you wanna um catch those signs. So
Like and changing your confession about what God will and will not do in your life. Like for the longest I used to tell my mama, I can't hear God. I don't know the voice of God. Like he don't speak to me. And it's like, but he speaks to you daily. You just trying to give yourself the credit. You just thinking, oh, that just happened to come across my mental space. That just happened to come across my life. No, that's him nudging at you. And like that's what I'm so grateful to God for. That even when my ears was closed and my eyes were closed and my mouth was closed, he still spoke to me. Like when I was in my junkiest of junk, in my dirtiest of dirt, he was still there. He never left. He never left. Like I might have just like, okay, God, I'ma just verbally put you on there because I'm salty. But he was just like, I'm not going nowhere. I would never leave you nor forsake you. Like that's like he will never leave you or forsake you. And then when you acknowledge him in all your ways, and then he begins to direct your path, it isn't that he didn't place you on the path you were supposed to be in the first place. It's that you now have the GPS. Like you done turned on Google. Like the path is still the same. You don't learn to stop going off on the shoulder. You don't learn to stop taking the same U-turns because you're gonna get out the same cycles. You now have just straight up GPS tracking, like, okay, now I know, like I'm assured. Like he was never in the dark for what you were created to be. Like he was never like, I think she can. He knew you can. Like he knows what you're going to accomplish. He knows what he wants to do in your life, but he just wants us to know. And like what, like when we decide, like, God, I'm gonna hear you. I'm listening. I believe you. I trust you. I trust you more with my life than I would ever trust myself with. I'm on this ride with you. This is your vehicle. This is your road. This is your destination. This was your beginning. This was never about Lanita. This was about you. And now look. Then that's when the blessings of God start to come in. Like a lot of times I feel like what kept me from God, I was like, I can't do that no more. I can't drink no more. I can't party no more. My friends ain't going to be around me. I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna be lame. Nobody already liked me anyway. Like I'm fun when I'm drunk. I'm fun when I'm this. And it was just like, but I wasn't myself. I was literally poisoning the spirit in me. I was diluting the spirit in me because I was afraid of knowing him. I was afraid of actually believing that I can accomplish all things through Christ, that I could not be mediocre anymore. And when you decide that you can't be mediocre no more, the work, the pain, the the distaste that work takes, it almost seems like the blessings of God weren't worth it. But when you realize that it is, that reward, that purpose that you get, and you get to see other people benefit from, is more than words can even express. Like it's different, sis. Like
Listen, first of all, we need to stop putting God on Do Not Disturb. We can turn God on
come on,
when we
writer.
need something, and then we cannot. I'm gonna put you on Do Not Disturb because I got my blessing. I'm good. And then when the little blessing run out, here you are again.
Speed dial.
Okay, God, it's me. I'm sorry I turned you off. Like, how
Mm.
about we just let God use us 24/8? I know it's 24/7, but I like saying 25/8. Like, why can't we talk to God all the time like we talk to our friends? Why can't we, the saying, Jesus is on the main line. Tell
Tell
me
them what you want.
what you want, but we acting like he on the block line because I mean,
Girl,
are you for God or are you against God? Like you're dipping and dabbing. Like I don't understand. Like
that's that lukewarm he talks about. People be like, I think people automatically assume when you talk about lukewarm, it's just like I'm just out here just sinning because I'm sinning. No, you sinning because you don't love God. Let me
you
just
sin
let
because
me just tell you
you're
what you're sinning
choosing to
from. You
sin, baby.
choosing to sin,
Because if
baby.
you want discipline and accountability, God will give you that. God will
And
give
he's
you
gonna bless you
accountability,
for it.
and He's gonna tell you before you do something like, sis,
I'm gonna give you the out.
listen,
I'm
let
gonna
me,
call you. I'm gonna put you on traffic on I-57 before you get to his house. I'm gonna make a whole accident happen. Let me just say what it is. I'm gonna make sure that bus was a little bit late in the snow that day to tell you to get off the bus to go back home instead of going to his house. I'm gonna turn your Wi-Fi off before you go to that URL so you don't over here doing stuff you ain't got no business doing. I'm gonna make you be broke for a little while so you won't put all your money in that bottle. But when you can show me that you can handle the blessings that I have for you, that you ain't gonna go pop a bottle $500 and act like you're not a good steward next Saturday because I don't got you a band in your bank account on a random. That you ain't gonna go spend that on that, but that you're gonna send it to me. You're gonna bless me. You're gonna sow it, or you're gonna put it into the purpose that I put in you. When I can trust you, you can
listen.
have whatever you need.
That's the one. Can God trust you?
He
Like
trusts
I
you with
know
your
we say,
purpose.
God, I trust you. I trust you with my whole life, but can God trust you? Because what happens when you break trust?
It's
Listen,
so much harder to get it back.
listen.
I know the scripture when it talks about it's better to like not know God at all than to know him and still do the goofy. That I'm paraphrasing, but it is what it is. Like it's better to like just be ignorant of the power and blessings of God than to know him, to choose him and still purposely say, no, I'd rather do it my way. Like I don't want to do it your way. I don't trust that what you said is good enough for me. Like and like I feel like a lot of times when people get saved, they always like the sinner, the sinner, the sinner. That's why like my transparency and to keep me accountable, I have to call myself out. Like I can't get anyone to Christ if I can't talk about the things that I still trip over and the grace and the mercy that he gives to me every single time. that I don't just take it as an L. I just don't take it as a oops. I take it as I'm learning. I hear you. I see you working. I'm gonna do better. I recommit myself. I recommit not myself to that. Like when you choose Jesus, it isn't just going to the aisle the first time and just saying, okay, I believe he died on the cross for me. Salvation comes, but when you choose for him to be the Lord of your life, the maker and finisher of all things that you do, loving him and choosing him is a daily thing. And you have to make him a daily thing to produce what he wants for you to produce. Like,
You have
and
to
that's what I'm
you have
learning.
to stay plugged into God.
You
You
got
have
all
to.
the you got
Girl,
all the
I
people
don't. I
saying
really don't.
you communications major.
Irritated. You literally have to stay plugged into God. Cause it's just like, okay, I plug my phone up to charge it, and then let's just say it's dead, and I unplug it, it's dead. Yo, you not staying plugged into God, so your faith is dead. You not staying plugged into God, so now you going through unnecessary stuff that you wouldn't even have to go through had you consulted God, had you plugged him up, had you had him charged. Listen,
So like my charge comes through my worship, my charge comes through me reading my word, my charge comes through me, I can't say attending church, but being connected to the body of Christ. My charge comes through moments of silence and meditating on his word. My past I Pastor Kelvin Easter at DWCC, right now he's been pushing heavy of having your hopes on eternal matters, like that when heaven becomes the goal, all the things that we accomplish on this timeline of life become minute to the purpose of us ultimately being back with the Father. But I'm learning that when my mind stays on him, when I'm constantly focused on not just having money or having the house or having the things of this world, but making sure that I stay connected to the man who saved me, the God who turned himself into a man from me to die for me. When I stay connected and focused on that, what I create will automatically be excellence because I'm focused on excellence. Like that what I eat is what I produce. If I'm eating the word of God and if I'm maintaining and marinating in the spirit of God, what I will produce will be through spirit because I will allow the spirit that is in me to overpower this fleshy stuff, to overpower my emotions. What it isn't just about feeling good or just looking good, or when it becomes, I need to, I need to, people steal this word. I need to manifest
you
because there's a
know,
God in me. Because there's a God in me. Because he saved me. Because there is a spirit of God in me. I have to manifest. Like I can't. I have to produce, and that comes through our focus staying on God.
and you know what? That word manifest has been going the entire pandemic ever since that girl, what's her name, B Simone,
Yeah.
started using it. Now everybody want to claim manifestation because before her you wasn't claiming anything to manifest. So now all of a sudden
No, no, no.
you think this is a word that she created. Jesus, y'all need to,
That's
y'all
Genesis
need
one
to,
and one. I'm
okay?
sorry. God was
Because
manifest. He said, "Let there be," and there was.
y'all just out here using that word loosely, I should say loosely, and like I don't understand. It just really grinds my gears. They be like manifestation is real. If y'all consult the real one, yeah, it's gonna be real.
And you won't have to do it. It won't be by any work that you have done.
And that's what I'm
It would
trying.
be, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know you good, girl. I'm sorry,
That's
but
what
you good.
I'm trying to get, man. Like the crowd from Facebook is definitely different from Twitter, and right now, like on Twitter, it's a whole bunch of I did this, I did that because of my credits and because of what I'm saying, just little stuff
Yeah,
like they think that they did it because of them. Like no, it happened because God allowed it to happen. It manifested because God allowed it to manifest.
yeah.
Ain't nothing you done did on your own.
Even the unjust receive the gifts of God. Like even the people, like, gifts comes without repentance. That's something that I just learned very recently. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I always used to compare myself to the world, to other people. Like, there's something about comparison that would end up making you never create anything you were supposed to, because your focus is off. Like, I would be like, oh, I'm not smart enough because they got their degree at this age, or they got this certification, or they did this, they did that. Like, that comparison to other people will always, like, just stunt you, because you won't move. You'll just be out here looking.
Girl,
And
well, that comparison is the enemy because I used to be like, I'm 27. I was just like, everybody around me got a boo. I ain't got nobody. But not good. Like, Jesus is my savior and I'm happy. Like,
like,
I'm okay with being
I'm
single.
talking to
Like,
him, he
I'm
got me.
content. Okay? Listen, I said, I always say now, like,
Boards. Show me you can handle it. Yes, I trust you. Like, what is something that, like, in the, and if you guys can comment just for like see happen for you by the conclusion of this year. I lost her. If you guys can comment for me, just until I get her back in here. But what are some things that you are working on, and so I can read them out, and we can know what to pray about, because this is an experience, not just alive. And then if I can't get her back on, we may conclude. I don't know what happened. Okay. Did the video end, Mom? Okay. I'm not sure what happened. I lost my guest, D Doris. Um, and I don't think I can get her back on. I'm not seeing her. So what I want you guys to do, I am going to um, post her blog on our group, My Mary's Testimony, so you guys can go and see her blog. As you can tell, she has words for days. She has wisdom from God, and she's birthing out what I believe is a part of her purpose that God has um, put in her. Oh, Sheree, you said releasing my first book and participation journal. That is something I have also been working on. It is getting loud in my background, so I am going to end this live. I thank you all for watching. I pray that God continues to release blessings in your life, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.